Mama, I know what I saw. It was a big shiny thing in the sky. Bigger than the moon and faster. What if it threatens us? Are you sure what you saw was even real?
What are you two talking about?
Jen says she saw this flying object. It wasn't a bird or a bat, it had no wings and was shiny like the moon. It flew across the sky really fast. How can something without wings fly?
Maybe we could find this thing and learn where it came from. Why bother? If we can't eat it, wear it, or live in it, it is of no use to us.
See? I was right. They are intruders.
Indeed, you were, Jen. Let's take them back to our cave. Papa, the third one is running back to the big silver thing. Shouldn't we try to catch her? Maybe we can get her later. For now, we have these two and we may get answers from them. The cave dwellers have taken James and carried to their cave. I am Grolok, and this is our home. The land here is our hunting and gathering grounds, and we tolerate no intruders trying to steal from us. We demand that you get out. I wish we could, but we are stuck here. Could you at least help us get our own cave and teach us how to survive around here? Maybe we could be neighbors and even friends?
We have never seen people like you before. Where are you from? We come from a distant land in a different time. In our place, we don't live in caves and we don't need to hunt or gather to survive. But since we are in your time and place, we need to learn from you so we can have a chance to survive ourselves.
How many people are in your tribe? There are 6 of us. Well, 7, actually, if you count the robot that is also with us. A robot? What's that? A machine I created. Anyway, we can just stay on our spaceship and call it our home, but we still need food. If you can just teach us how you gather food, maybe we can help you in turn. We have weapons we can use to shoot down big animals we can then use for meat. We can share the meat with you. Give us a chance to prove we can help you. James then pulls out his cell phone, which is modified to interact with the spaceship's communication system. Debbie, the cave people that captured us are led by a man named Grolok. We need to convince him that we are no threat and we can help his family.
If he wants to prove his goodwill to us, tell him to release Carrie so she can come back here. Then Carrie will lead some of us back to the cave you are at.
Jen, take Carrie to the outside of the cave and release her. I'd better not regret this. You say this gun can kill animals much bigger than we could kill with spears? That's right, and I will prove it. Here comes a mammoth now. My own father was killed by one of those monsters. I have feared them ever since. Time to show what we can do. Now you will die, mammoth. That will be enough meat for all of us to feast on for several days. You have proven you can be trusted to help us, so we will help you in return. Mac and Jen, get the knives so we can start cutting out the meat to share with our new friends. 1 week after their first encounter with Grolok and his family, the crew of the USS Sandy have repaired the ship's time travel device and are ready to leave. Your people have been a big help to us. Now, I would like to ask a favor of you. What is it? My mate Pelabong and I are used to the life here. But I know our children can have a better life with you. Would you take them with you? If they are willing to adapt to life with us, sure. Is that what you both want? Yes. We promise we will do our best to serve you. All right, we will take them. We have traveled 1,000 years into our own future. And since we may never see our parents again, that means from our point of view, they have died.
So you want to perform a death ritual to honor their memory?
That's right.
This death ritual. I think we have that sort of thing. We call them funerals. James and I also lost our own parents, but at different times. Our father died when I was 14 years old, and our mother died 4 years ago.
You and the others are welcome to observe our death ritual. Father Grolok and Mother Pelabong, we remember you for how you cared for us and what you taught us. May we someday be as good for others as you were to us.
Your memory will live on through us. Our love for you is forever. Now it is your turn, Debbie and James. Mother Sandy and Father Richard, we remember you, for all that you did for us and what you taught us.
Your heroic deeds will be praised, and even the mistakes you made were learning experiences for both of us that helped shape us into the noble people we became. Thank you both, for everything.
Interesting. It seems you were both loyal to your parents' memory and willing to criticize some of the things they did. Is this normal for your kind?
Yes. Part of growing up is to realize that no one is perfect and seeking to make yourself better regardless of what others do.
That's actually a good lesson.
Wow! These things in space are amazing. And that is really what the Earth looks like from above?
Yes. Isn't it beautiful?
Of course. And so are you. Or, you would be if you didn't have that mask on.
Trying pick-up lines on me, cave boy. Not a good idea. And I'm not wearing a mask. This thing on my face is a visor. Without it, I am blind. I lost my natural eyes when I was a baby.
Oh? How did that happen?
I'd rather not talk about it. Mac, leave her alone. She clearly is not interested in you. She probably has a mate in her native time. I'm sorry about Mac's rude behavior. But he does want a mate. If he and I had stayed with our parents, in another few years they would have made a deal with another family to exchange children. I'd be with that family's son, and Mac would be with their daughter, and both of us would be living in other caves with our mates. That's sad. You should be allowed to choose your own mate. But the thing is, I have no interest in boys. The only time I ever feel love for someone outside my family is with another girl. But I can't have babies with another girl, can I? You are lesbian? So are Debbie and Carrie. But they have a son, Richard. They did have a child together? How? I guess you can ask them about it. I hope you like the new clothes I made for you. Yes. These are awesome. Much more comfortable than those old skins. Wouldn't you agree, Mac?
Indeed. I and Jen are so happy you were willing to take us on board. What's that?
It's the ship's PA system. Someone is about to make an announcement.
Attention all hands. We have arrived in the year 2060 and will soon land in Houston. Then we all will return to our homes. And so Debbie, Carrie, Richard, and Diana return to Dallas, while James, Janet, Mac and Jen go to the town. And the robot stays on the ship to guard it.
Welcome back, my beloved. So you say these are actual cave people?
That's right. They will be staying with us while we help them learn how to live in our society.
How old are they, James?
Whitney, Jen is 15 years old and Mac is 13. So they could go to high school.
They've never been to any school, so they wouldn't do well there if we don't prepare them. Why not hire a private tutor to give them some education by themselves first?
We can find someone that specializes in remedial education. The cave teens will have to be tested first to see what they are capable of. Then the tutor will give them lessons to fit their needs and what they are capable of for 2 or 3 years. It was so embarrassing to have to be potty trained, as Diana called it. So many things are confusing and scary to me. I'm wondering now if we did the right thing leaving our parents behind to live in this time. So you want to take another time trip with this ship? Yes, Mac. Now that we have confirmed that the time travel device on the ship won't burn out, we might even go as far back as your parents' time to visit them again. I'm sure you and your parents miss each other. You might even take the option of staying in the past with them if you want. The choice is yours. What do you think, Jen?
I certainly would love to see them again. But, as for living with them as we did before, I couldn't do that. I like much better what we have in this time. The constant struggle for survival in prehistoric times doesn't appeal to me.
I agree with Jen. It's been hard to adjust to life here, but it would be even harder being thrust back into our old cave with our parents. No offense, but our parents are literally dead to us and I think we should keep it that way. As you wish. At least you have the option of returning if you change your mind.
How about we travel back to when your grandmother Sandy was in her youth? I only knew her as an older lady. But it might be funny seeing her as a teen or even a child.
If we do that, then we should take Mother Debbie and Uncle James with us. They might benefit more from such an experience than any of us.
In August of 2060, Debbie, James, Richard, Diana, Jen, and Mac prepare for another time trip.
Okay, so we will be going to the year 1990, when our mother was 16 years old.
Mother told me that was the year she became an atheist.
How are we going to make contact with her? If we reveal ourselves to her, wouldn't that cause problems for our timeline? That's why I asked Jen and Mac to come with us this weekend. They can make contact with her and her family and just pose as teens that are native to 1990. And we will be going to the summer of that year, so attending school won't be an issue.
Diana, robot, are you ready? The ship is fully powered and ready to go. Everything looks normal.
Okay, let's start. Richard, perform the time jump. The coordinates are set. Engaging. Wah! We have arrived in the year 1990. Activating the invisibility field. We will land in a rural area between Oklahoma City and Tulsa.
Jen, you are about the same age as my mother was this year, so you are to go and befriend her. How will I find her? Mother once told me her first job was working as a waitress at her father's restaurant when she was 16. So you will go there as a customer. Except you will have no money. Instead, you will have to beg for food. So, are you ready? As ready as I'll ever be. Send me down. Activating the teleporter.
Debbie, where did you say the restaurant is? Look at the map icon and check the listing in the app. I have the location marked for you. I see it. I will follow the directions given by the phone.
Welcome to the Pink Octopus. What can I get for you?
Actually, I was wondering if you could give us some free food. My brother and I lost our parents recently and now we are homeless. But we still need to eat. If you feed me for one day, I could do some work for you. Maybe I could clean tables or sweep and mop the floor?
Perhaps. Let me ask my father. He owns this place. Father, there is a homeless girl who says she is willing to do work for us in exchange for food. Should we hire her?
Tell her she must do the work first, then I will inspect her work, and if I deem it acceptable, we will pay her with a meal.
Okay, that seems fair. Yes, you may do some work for us. I will give you some cleaning supplies and you may spend the rest of the evening cleaning the floor, the tables and the restrooms. But you must do a good job here to earn your food.
I understand. Trust me, I am used to working hard. I just wish I didn't have to.
Thank you for your help today. It was such a relief not having to do any cleaning and giving the job to someone else.
What is your name? My name is Jen.
My name is Sandy.
Sandy Smith, perhaps.
No, my last name is Green. And yours?
My last name is Smith. Yes, Jen Smith.
Oh, so you thought maybe we were relatives and that's why you came here? Sorry to disappoint you, but we will help you even though you are not family. I can't imagine how painful it must be to lose your parents.
Jan, you actually did a fairly good job for us, considering it was only your first day. So we will not only give you a free meal, but an additional $20 for you to keep. and I will invite you back for another day's work here too.
Could my brother also work for you? He needs to be fed too.
Sure. I will give you some carry-out food to share with your brother. And I hope we see you both tomorrow.
Jen returns from the Pink Octopus Seafood restaurant with the free food she was given to share with her brother. This fish is awesome. I'd love to have more.
You will certainly have more when you come with me to the restaurant. But I am puzzled about something. When I met Sandy, she said her name was Sandy Green, not Sandy Smith. Did I meet the wrong person? No. Her family name was originally Green, but it became Smith after she married my father, Rich Smith. In our culture, women who marry often change their family names to match that of her new husband. That practice is less common now though, because women and men are considered equal in our society. Odd that most of you have two names. Jen is the only name I've ever had. My mother said she named me after one of her sisters, who died when she was 4 years old, because Mama said I was as cute as that sister. Maybe when we get back to 2060, you and Mac can make up your own family name. I kind of already did. I told your mother that my last name was Smith. Oops. No big deal. Smith is a highly common family name. Mr. Green, I'm back, and I brought my brother Mac with me.
Hello! I hope you can do for me what you did for my sister.
Mac, I will put you to work in the kitchen as a dishwasher. Jen, you will clean the tables and sweep and mop the floor again.
Several hours later, Sandy arrives at the restaurant to meet Jen and Mac.
Father says you and Mac are finished with your work today, so I would like to invite you two over to my house. I'm sure you would like to have something besides this restaurant's seafood.
That's awesome. You are so kind.
We will join you as soon as we are done eating. Mac and Jen then follow Sandy to her house. But after they arrive,
Sandy Green, are these the two homeless kids your father mentioned to me last night?
Yes, they are, Mother.
I don't want those dirty poor people in our house. You should have more pride than to associate with people like that. I don't want their lazy habits rubbing off on you. Excuse me? I'm not lazy. In fact, Sandy's father put both me and my brother to work to earn what we wanted from them. Why are you so rude to us? My naive husband may have been willing to let you work in his restaurant, but I am the ruler of this household. And I won't allow you and your brother to stick around here and possibly steal from us. Now get out. So my grandmother just threw you and Mac out. That's right. She was so cruel to us. We did nothing to her.
Remember when we first met and you and your father attacked us? That wasn't fair either.
true, but at least we gave you a chance to prove you were harmless to us. Mrs. Green just looked at us with a kind of hatred that was totally different from her husband and daughter. I don't understand that.
Thanks for coming in to work another day. Again, I'm really sorry about my mother.
It's not your fault. I'm just puzzled as to why you and she are so different from each other. Shouldn't parents and their children have the same values?
I think I take after my father much more than my mother. I don't know what brought those two together. I do know that when my mother was in high school, her worst rival was a girl named Penelope Callie. And then decades later, my worst rival was Penelope's daughter, Jennifer Callie. Mother says she wants us to be like the Callies. That seems so wrong. Why not just live your own life and not worry about what others do or have?
I agree. I see nothing wrong with your life now. And you are a beautiful girl. If we were not co-workers, I'd be wanting you for a lover.
That's sweet. But I am not gay. Though I have no problem with such people. Jen, I have an idea. Could you serve the customer who just came in? Her name is Jennifer Callie, and I used to know her in high school.
I'll give it a try. Here is your order, ma'am. Thank you. You must be new here. I didn't see you the last time I was here. I was hired just this week. I wonder how long you might last here. This is such a crappy place. If you don't like it, why come here? Because I like to keep lesser people like Sandy Green and her father in their place. It's their job to serve richer people like me. Sandy, that woman I just served is just as terrible as your mother. She thinks you are beneath her, just as your mother thought I and Mac were beneath her. I'm sorry, but I find both their attitudes disgusting.
I understand. And my mother goes to church every Sunday too, but she doesn't love others like Jesus did. That's sad.
Who is Jesus?
You don't know who Jesus is? I guess you were never taught anything about religion. Next time we meet, I will bring you a Bible. You can learn about Jesus from that.
Several hours later, Jen and Mac have returned to the USS Sandy to report to Debbie and James.
My mother was a devoted Christian until she tried to read the Bible all the way through and found a story in it that sickened her. I'll show it to you.
Debbie gets a Bible and shows Jen and the others the story.
Okay, here is that story, Numbers chapter 31. The Lord said to Moses, "Take vengeance on the Midianites for the Israelites. After that, you will be gathered to your people." So Moses said to the people, "Arm some of your men to go to war against the Midianites so that they may carry out the Lord's vengeance on them. Send into battle 1,000 men from each of the tribes of Israel." So 12,000 men armed for battle, 1,000 from each tribe, were supplied from the clans of Israel. Moses sent them into battle, 1,000 from each tribe, along with Phinehas son of Eleazar, the priest, who took with him articles from the sanctuary and the trumpets for signaling. They fought against Midian, as the Lord commanded Moses, and killed every man. Among their victims were Evi, Rechem, Zur, Hur and Reba, the 5 kings of Midian. They also killed Balaam son of Beer with the sword. The Israelites captured the Midianite women and children and took all the Midianite herds, flocks and goods as plunder. They burned all the towns where the Midianites had settled, as well as all their camps. They took all the plunder and spoils, including the people and animals, and brought the captives, spoils and plunder to Moses and Eleazar the priest and the Israelite assembly at their camp on the plains of Moab, by the Jordan across from Jericho. Moses, Eleazar the priest and all the leaders of the community went to meet them outside the camp. Moses was angry with the officers of the army, the commanders of thousands and commanders of hundreds, who returned from the battle. "Have you allowed all the women to live?" he asked them. They were the ones who followed Balaam's advice and enticed the Israelites to be unfaithful to the Lord in the Peor incident, so that a plague struck the Lord's people. Now kill all the boys. And kill every woman who has slept with a man, but save for yourselves every girl who has never slept with a man.
Is that what is normally done when opposing tribes fight? Kill the enemies and take what they have?
The ancient Israelis were supposed to be better than their neighbors, because they worshipped the one true God. But they were not. They certainly didn't have to kill all of the men, women and boys and keep the little girls as slaves. That's what war criminals do, not enlightened people.
And because Moses was considered a prophet of God, anything he commanded was acceptable to his followers. But as atheists we don't blindly follow anyone like that. We seek a higher standard based on absolute rules of right, wrong and truth that apply to all. Morals shouldn't be changed even if a God wants to change them, and they should still matter even if there is no God. And truth must be found in the universe we all live in. It cannot be found in a book made by men that has lessons that were said to be taught by a God or his prophets thousands of years ago. This is all so complicated and confusing. Why can't people just be good regardless of what they believe? That's a question we have been struggling with for thousands of years. Jen, I and James can only tell you what we believe. You have to decide what is best for yourself. No one else.
Jen and Mac returned to the Pink Octopus for one more day of work there.
This will be our last day here. I was just told that I and Mac will be taken in by relatives who live in another state. That's awesome. I'm glad you have finally been given a home. I wish you two the best. Oh, before we part company, I want to teach you a few things from my Bible. Indeed, I will actually give you this Bible so you will have something to remember me by. Someone else has already been reading the Bible to me after I talked with her about it. Let's go somewhere private to discuss the matter.
And so the two girls go to the women's restroom.
Let me take your Bible and look up something I want to share with you. Maybe then you can explain it to me.
Jen then finds the story in Numbers chapter 31 and shows it to Sandy.
I don't know what to say. I had no idea such a horrible story was in the Bible. You own this book but you never read that part of it? How can you say you believe in a book's teachings yet not know all its contents? That's actually a good point. All these years I was content to only follow the lessons taught by my church. And I was never taught anything like this. Jen, I promise you, I will start reading my entire Bible from the first verse in Genesis all the way to the last verse in Revelation. Only then will I know this book and what I should believe about it. What other terrible things in it have been kept from me, I wonder.
Several hours later, Jen and Mac return once more to the USS Sandy.
Debbie, we came to the year 1990 to learn why your mother became an atheist. And it seems she did because of us. She told me that for the first time ever she will try to read everything in the Bible to know the whole truth about it. She says she feels like she was lied to. And because my mother was converted to atheism as a teen, James and I were raised as atheists and so avoided the trauma of having abandoned a religion we once loved. Thank you for your help. Now it is time for us to leave this year and return to the year 2060.
It is the day after Lucy's funeral in Dallas of 2060. And at the Smith-Wilson mansion.
James and I have decided to adopt you and Mac so you can have a family again. You are already living with us, so why not? What does it mean to adopt someone? It means James and I would legally become your new parents. I would be your mother Penny and James would be your father James. You and Mac would become our fifth and sixth children. Our first was Vince Smith, but he died just over 2 years ago after he came down with an illness resulting from his allergy to dairy products. He was born to us, but we also adopted triplets and helped raise them as well.
If you think that's what's best for us, so be it. Oh, and that death ritual you had for your Aunt Lucy was amazing. You all must have really loved her. She was indeed special, but life goes on. We remember her for what she was and did. She helped make Carrie the wonderful lady she is now.
It's so strange that only a few months ago we were living in a cave with our original parents, and now we are on a spaceship traveling to another world with our new parents.
Yeah, we have come a long way. I never could have imagined anything like this. Oh, hi, Mrs. Smith.
You can just call me Aunt Debbie. I'm here to give you and Jen your daily tutorial lessons. I'm impressed by your progress. At the rate you two are going, you should both be ready for high school in about a year.
Penny, I'm going to leave you, Jen, and Mac behind. If we are going to war, there is no need for you and our children to be put in harm's way.
You know I'm going to be worried sick about you as long as you are out there, but I admire you for stepping up to fight for our people.
Best of luck to you, Papa.
Thank you, my son.
Jen and Mac have enrolled in high school. Jen is now 16, while Mac is 14, but both are in 7th grade.
Welcome to our school. Your parents have told us about your unusual background, so we have arranged for you two to be placed in this special education class. I am your teacher, Olgadelity, and you will receive all your lessons from me. How does this special education class differ from regular education? Some children have developmental disorders or disabilities that limit their academic potential, so they need extra help with their studies.
I don't think that's the case with us. It's just we were raised in a cave 100,000 years ago, but that doesn't mean we are stupid.
No one is calling you, your sister, or any other child here stupid. The very purpose of this class is to be as inclusive as possible of disadvantaged children. We welcome all types.
Hello, I am Anna Ricardo. I am 16 and am in 8th grade.
Hi. I am Jen Smith and I am 16 and am in 7th grade. My brother is Mac and he is 14 and also in 7th grade.
If you two want help or advice, you may ask me. I know this school quite well.
In the time we came from, our original parents only needed to teach us how to hunt animals and gather plants for food every day. It was a simple life. Life in this time is so different and complicated.
Do you wish you could go back to living in a cave?
No. I am now used to this life. It's much better.
One of my uncles says if our civilization collapses, only people that can live like you did in the Stone Age will survive.
Has your uncle actually tried living in a cave? It's not easy at all. You can't sleep in a bed, you often have to lie down on bare rock. There is no privacy. Sometimes I would wake up to see my original parents mating only a few meters away from me. In a cave like ours, we had little else to do. We couldn't store food for long. So we had to be careful not to gather too much. And our biggest fear was that another family might want our cave and try to kill us to take it. We couldn't trust strangers for that reason. Caves couldn't be built. Only seized or abandoned.
Sounds awful. I'm glad you no longer have to deal with that.
According to these readings, the newly installed solar panels are supplying plenty of power to the mansion and its battery. Now to test the newly installed systems. Mac, can you hear me?
Yes, Father James. I am outside looking at the front and the roof of the mansion now.
Alright, I will activate the invisibility device and see if it makes the mansion invisible like it would have the USS Sandy. Activating now.
Yes, it works. The mansion is completely invisible from the outside.
What? We just lost all the power from the solar panels. But why?
Cousin James, look out the window. When you activated the invisibility device, it blocked any light from outside, making everything look totally black. So no light can reach the solar panels, and so we will have no power soon.
Oh my god. Turning the USS Sandy invisible was no problem, because it had its own internal power sources. But if the invisibility device makes our mansion's solar panels useless, then we have a problem. Turning off the device.
James then consults with others in the household to find a solution to their problem.
So it seems we cannot turn the mansion invisible except for brief periods of time, so that seems to rule out going back to historical times, where the mansion would be noticed by outsiders. But what if we could travel to prehistoric times like we did for our first time trip?
Are you suggesting we go back to the time of my and Mac's original parents and visit them again?
That is one possibility, yes. I'm sure they would be happy to see you two again, even if only for a few hours.
All right. 100,000 years ago, here we come.
Okay, the time and place coordinates are set. We will travel back in time 100,000 years, and to the same exact place the USS Sandy landed at, near the Po River and south of the Alps. Activating time travel device.
Wah!
Father James, you did it. This is indeed my original family's hunting and gathering grounds.
So the time travel device worked just as I intended. Now let's go visit your original parents.
So this is where Mac and Jen spent their first years? I can't say it is cozy.
It's nothing like your mansion, but it was still our home. But where are our original parents?
They are probably out gathering food. They should be back soon. And sure enough, a couple of hours later. Jen and Mac, my children, you are back. How have you two been? Great, Papa Grolok. Once we got used to life in the future, we grew to love it so much. We couldn't be happier.
But where is Mama Pelabong? Isn't she with you?
Of course. And here she comes now.
Jen and Mac, welcome back. And come see your new sister, Flo.
Oh, she's beautiful, Mama Pelabong.
That was why we wanted you to take Jen and Mac, so we would have room in this cave for the next child we were going to have. I hope you understand that.
Of course. And Jen and Mac have been a blessing to us. This is my own mate, Penny.
Hello, Mr. Grolok. And Mrs. Pelabong.
So where's your ship? I didn't see it outside.
We actually came back here a different way. We have seen your cave. Now come see our home.
James and Penny lead Grolok's family to the Smith-Wilson mansion.
So, what do you think?
I am simply amazed at what you have. This is the most beautiful place I've ever seen. I have a question, though. It's obvious that you and your kind are vastly superior to us cave dwellers in every way, yet from the start you have treated us as equals, with total respect. But, why?
Yes, we are superior, but the fact remains that you are among our ancestors. Without you, we wouldn't exist. We are only great because of what you did before us to make our lives possible. No matter what happens, don't ever let anyone treat you, your mate, or your daughter Flo like lesser beings. Anyone who does that you should consider your enemy.
I will keep that in mind, James.
So this is where you make all your meals. Clearly, I and Grolok were right to send Jen and Mac away if this is what they knew of now.
Would you like to eat a meal here too? I can bake some chicken or fish and serve fruits and vegetables from our refrigerator.
Sure, I'd love that. Mac and I thought you and Papa would be so lonely without us, Mama. It's actually a relief to learn that is not the case. I always wanted a sister. And now I know I have one.
After enjoying dinner together with Penny, James, and their children, Grolok and Pelabong return with Flo to their cave. And then the time travel device is used to return the Smith-Wilson mansion to its original time and place. Wah!
I'm thinking maybe we should get rid of the time travel device and the invisibility device. They are not as much use here as I thought they would be.
You could always build another spacecraft, James.
Yes, but it wouldn't be the USS Sandy. I regret selling it now.
I don't. I like us being billionaires now. We really don't have to do any more work for the rest of our lives, James. So how about we quit our current jobs and do some traveling around the world for a few months, at least?
Of course. We don't even need to use the time travel device to go back in time. We can use it to move this mansion to anywhere else in the present-day world. No need to fly around in planes or go cruising on ocean ships. We can take our own home with us when we travel.
James, that is such a brilliant solution. But we will have to wait until next summer to do that. For now, Jen and Mac must attend school here in the town.
Of course.
Excuse me, but who told you that you could sit at this table? No one. But why should it matter where I sit? Because I got this table first and I won't have special ed losers messing up my space.
Who is that rude guy?
That's Sammy, and he has always hated kids like me that he thinks are beneath him.
Oh, and what makes him so superior?
You are so kind to offer me a meal with you. So, is this a date?
I guess you can call it that. I enjoy your company.
But I'm hardly dressed up for anything special. I didn't even think to put on any makeup.
That doesn't matter. I like you just as you are.
Are you sure we can afford the food here?
Of course. My father James gave me $100 last week, so I can pay for anything we want on this menu. It's bad enough I have to attend school with you losers, but now you dare to show up here? Though it is fitting that you would date the ugliest girl in the school who dresses like a hobo. Ha 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 ha. And what are you doing here, Sammy? Who I date and where I go is none of your business. Don't talk back to me. I am happy to take you down. You don't belong here. And then Mac remembers the advice James gave to Grolok.
Never let anyone treat you, your mate, or your daughter flow like you are lesser beings. You should consider such a person to be your enemy.
Let's see how tough you are.
My first date ever and it's ruined.
I'll put a stop to this. Do you want me to call the police and have you arrested for disturbing the peace? That boy you picked a fight with is the son of the restaurant's owner, so he is more than welcome to eat here. You are the intruder. Get out. Now. My son just told me you caused trouble for him at school as well as here. If you try to bully him ever again, I'll come after you and get you in trouble with your parents. Oh, and of course, you are banned permanently from this place.
So, Anna, are you happy now?
Yes, you fought for me against that bully as did your mother. I think I will love being your girlfriend.
Mac and Anna are visiting Eric Sterling's auto shop. This is where I hope to have a career in a few years. I became interested in this sort of job after my father brought his car here to have an oil change and one of its tires replaced.
Awesome. I like working on cars too. Maybe we can do this sort of work together.
You would rather us be co-workers than lovers? I've heard that co-workers shouldn't date because it might cause problems at work.
Oh, really? Now what?
What are you two doing here? I could ask you the same damn question, Sammy. Are you trying to pick another fight with me like you did at my mother's restaurant? No, I just need my car's oil changed. Interesting that you look down on people like me even while relying on us lesser beings to do things like work on your car. If you are so superior, why not change your car's oil yourself? Yeah. I wasn't the best student in high school either, but like Mac I knew exactly what I wanted to do with my life. I will work on your car now. But in a few years Mac might be the one to do it. And you should always treat with respect the ones whose work you rely on for your own well-being.
Looks like Sammy is actually the stupid one around here.
Anna, is that you?
Yes. Do you like it? My mother convinced me yesterday to give myself a makeover to impress you. She said I needed to look more like a lady now.
You look great. But I like you the way you were too.
I know, but I still needed to feel better about myself too.
Good morning, class. As usual, we will begin with the day's math lessons. Mac, please help me pass them out.
Mac, I hear they are having tryouts for the football team. I'm going to them. Want to come too?
I don't know. I've never played football before.
Well, it's about time you learned. It's our society's most popular sport.
Father James just sent me a message. Mother Penny is in hospital due to massive internal bleeding.
What? How did it happen?
I'm sure he will tell us the details. As soon as we are done with school today, we will go to the hospital to see Mother Penny.
The work on the teleporter is finished. With the power surge preventer attached to the teleporter, the time travel device and the invisibility device, everything should work as it should.
Thanks for all your help, Mac. You really are a brilliant mechanic and electrician. So, are you going to join the high school's football team?
Yes. I figure being on the team will gain me more friends. Excuse me.
Mac, this is Anna. Want to go on a date? I've put together a meal we can eat at the park near my house.
Sure. See you soon.
Before I met you, most of the others in the school dismissed me as too fat and ugly. You are the first guy to treat me right.
In my original time, looks didn't matter that much. But my sister was considered a beauty by others. More than one guy asked my papa Grolok for her, but Jenna refused them. At the time, she said she was too young, but she later admitted to me she was lesbian.
Maybe we can find her a girlfriend and then we can double date.
We'll see. While Penny recovers from her recent surgery, Mac follows through on trying out for the high school football team. And as a result, I actually got picked to serve on the football team. That's the good news.
So, what's the bad news?
I tried on a helmet and it didn't quite fit because of my big hair, so the coach told me to have the hair cut.
Then we'd take you to a barbershop.
So you cut off most of your hair.
Sure, and why not? You changed yourself to look better, so I did too. Do you like it?
I sure do.
Mac and Anna, take your seats now so we can begin today's lessons. And now I have a happy announcement. Today will be the last day of Jen being part of this special ed class. Starting next week, she will transition to regular classes.
Yahoo! That's awesome. I knew you could do it.
It seems we are both succeeding in our goals. I can't wait to see you out on the football field.
Paul, I'm glad we both made it to the team. Thanks for encouraging me to do this.
Do you hope to someday become a professional football player? It would be so cool to be one of the Dallas Cowboys.
No, I'm just doing this for fun. My goal in life is to be an auto mechanic. I will spend every summer assisting Eric Sterling at his shop until I'm out of high school. Then I will work under him full time.
So you know exactly what you want to do and have your future all planned out. Brilliant! Now let's get out there and do some practice runs. Mac, this school has a strict rule known as no pass, no play, which requires you to make passing grades on all your courses to remain on the school's sports teams. Now I have reviewed your grades, and they are acceptable. Just make sure they stay that way. Don't ever neglect your studies for the sake of the team. Your academic progress is always more important.
Understood, Coach Packard. Mac and Coach Packard joined the other players out on the field. Meanwhile,
I'm glad you recovered in time to see Mac's first football game.
I didn't think you were ever a football fan.
I'm not. My father's obsession with sports was a factor in my parents' divorce, but it's still good to support your kids in what they do.
Jen now begins typing on her cell phone.
Hello, I saw a message written in the girls' restroom that says for a good time, text 514-803-9904. Can you respond soon? Hello. Are you still in the restroom? Yes, I am. Do you want me to wait for you there? Yes, I will be there in a bit. How will I recognize you? I will be in red with long brown hair. When I arrive, I will ask for the password. You say, Washington. What's the password? Washington. Good. So, what would you like us to do together? I was wondering if you're a lesbian like me. Do you want a girlfriend? Yes. And I am thankful it was you that responded to my notice. You are a beauty, Jen. I just hope you will like me too. Are you still wanting me on the basketball team? I can still join and then we can see each other often. That's up to you. As long as I have another girl I can be intimate with, that will be enough. You want to start right now?
It is the day after Mac's first football game. I had a great time playing football, Father. Even though your team didn't win, we did our best and we can't expect to win every game.
Hey, Melissa. I had a good time with you at the football game yesterday. How about we meet up again today? Sure. I can come to your place, right? How about we have a date at the Tuscany Tavern? I'd rather not. That place is too expensive. Okay, how about the Speedy Burgers Diner? No, not there either. I just want to spend time with you. We don't need to eat at a restaurant. Can we eat at your home? Okay, come here at about 5 p.m. Will a frozen pizza do? We have pepperoni. That will do.
Jen then sends a text message to Penny, asking her to call Jen. About an hour later.
You wanted to speak with me? Yes. What time are you coming home from work? About midnight. Why? I just invited Melissa to visit me here at the mansion. She is my new girlfriend. I thought you should know. You have a love partner? Great. Have fun. I will go to the kitchen and put the pizza in the oven.
Sorry, I already have pork ribs in the oven. They should be ready in 2 hours. But I can put your pizza on a rack below the ribs.
Thanks. Please cook the pizza at 400 degrees for 30 minutes.
Will do.
What's so funny?
I just learned that my brother David's YouTube channel was taken down. Debbie and Carrie posted their video of them confronting David and his wife Fiona during their summer vacation on that Caribbean cruise. That led to another round of a lot of people slamming David in public. He finally removed his channel and everything he made on YouTube.
Wasn't your brother always trying to tell everyone about his religion?
Yes. And he was such an idiot about it.
Thanks for the pizza, Jen. I hope I can come here often to be with you. I just couldn't be seen in public with you yet. Why not? My parents are completely different from yours. They are Catholics, and very conservative. I haven't told them I am lesbian. I don't want to risk them finding out as long as I am living with them. You are not out about your sexuality? How sad. I can't imagine having to keep such a basic part of my life bottled up like that. I plan to move out of my parents' home in another 2 years, after I turn 18. I will come out then. Can you wait until then for our relationship to be made public? Please? All right. Just know that you are accepted here. As long as you treat me right, you're fine with us.
One day at the town's high school.
Jen, how close are you to your brother now? You two seem to have been drifting apart ever since you left the special education class. We get along quite well. He and I have merely chosen different paths. Why? My parents just got divorced and my father wants nothing to do with me. He calls me a failure and a disappointment because my IQ is subnormal. He said, you couldn't have gotten your inferior brain from me. You and your mother are both idiots. That ripped my heart out. I'm sorry. My parents are the polar opposite of your father. They accept both me and Mac just as we are. Anyway,
I am thinking of asking Mac to make a baby with me so I can have a better purpose in life than constantly struggling with schoolwork.
That would only make your life harder, Anna. Though I admit that if we lived in my original time, you could certainly start having babies now and that wouldn't be a problem.
I've got it. Maybe we could use your father's time machine to return to your original time. Then I could meet with your original parents and live like they did.
Later that day, at the Smith-Wilson mansion.
So that's the situation, Mac. She actually wants to be a cave dweller. Like we and our original parents were about 100,000 years ago.
I don't think she understands how hard that life was for us. Even Papa Grolok and Mama Pelabong sent us away because they thought we'd be better off in the future. Though I admit there have been challenges in this time too. Let me talk with Anna about this. Maybe she's just upset over her parents' divorce and she wants to get away from that. Father James, what should I do? Anna and I have to make some tough decisions about our future.
These are decisions only you and Anna can make. Your mother Penny and I supported you joining the high school football team. And we would support you becoming an auto mechanic like Eric Sterling. And we would even support you choosing to return to your original time. There's nothing wrong with any of those choices. You do what you think is right, Mac.
I was actually hoping you would say something different. Now I have to talk with Anna. Anna, were you really serious about wanting to live as a cave dweller?
Yes. I like the idea of living a simple life. No schoolwork. No worrying about money. Just learning to hunt and gather food every day. But I wouldn't go alone. If I go, I'd like you to go with me. I'm sure that together we could make a life back then.
Or I could insist on staying in this time and you stay too. But you would be unhappy and probably break up with me.
No, I haven't thought of dumping you. I just think I'd want to be together with you in either time.
You sure you want to be my mate? Well, I know your mother likes me, but how would she feel about never seeing you again?
She has 2 sons she can be proud of. She doesn't need me around. She has already told me I can leave the house and move in with you as soon as I reach adulthood. And my 18th birthday is a week from now.
And so a week later, at the Tuscany Tavern. Happy birthday, darling. Mrs. Richardo?
Honey, you know I will miss you. Are you sure about this?
Yes. Mac and I have talked about this, and we are totally committed to each other, no matter where or when we end up. So this will be goodbye.
And so the next day, Jen, Mac, and Anna joined James in his rebuilt robot at his time machine. I've already said goodbye to Mother Penny, so let's go.
Very well. Activating the time travel device.
Wah! And so 100,000 years in the past. Yes, this is indeed my and Jen's original time and place. Now we just need to meet my original parents. And so when they arrive at Grolok and Pelabong's cave.
Jen and Mac, I and your mama were never expecting to see you again.
Well, here I am. And unlike Jen, I am here to stay. This is my mate, Anna. She wants to be a cave dweller like you, so we have come back so you and Mama can teach her everything you know.
We could certainly use some help around this cave, for at least a few months. Welcome to the family, Anna.
Flo, Jen and Mac's sister, enters the cave. She is now 3 years old.
Papa and Mama, who are all these people? Are we in trouble?
No, Flo, these are friends. And 2 of them are your brother Mac and sister Jen, and 1 is your brother's mate, Anna. Mac and Anna will be staying with us.
And that evening, just outside the time machine, I want to thank you and Penny for everything you have done for me. I will never forget you.
Good luck, son. Even now, I am proud of you for what you are doing.
Goodbye, my beautiful sister-in-law. I know you will accomplish great things in the 21st century. Thanks.
And so James, Jen, and the robot leave in the time machine. Wah!
I'm actually grateful you decided to return. And even to bring a mate with you. Your mama was so happy to see Anna.
Yeah. I just have to get used to this life again. I'm only doing this for Anna's sake. She is my love, Papa. Just as Mama is yours. Mac and his love partner, Anna, have joined with Mac's original parents, Grolok and Pelabong, and his little sister, Flo, in the Stone Age.
Mac, before I joined with your mother, I was named Gro and she was called Pel. It was my mate's father who renamed me Grolok and renamed her Pelabong. Now I will do the same for you and Anna. After today, you will be known as Makalam, son of Grolok. And you, Anna, will be known as Analam, mate of Makalam. Welcome to my tribe.
Thank you, Grolok. I am your loyal servant, as well as that of Makalam.
To Makalam's surprise, Analam quickly adapts well to life as a cave dweller. And within a few months,
Mac, I have wonderful news. I am pregnant. In a few months, we will be parents. And you two will be grandparents.
Awesome. We are happy for you, of course. But you know what this means? You will need to find another cave to raise your children in. This cave is too small for 6 people.
Remember the bear we encountered that almost killed Flo? I always worried he might threaten us again. But maybe we can kill it and take its cave for Mac and Anna to live in.
Yes! You already stuck a spear in that bear, so why not finish it off? Let's all go after it.
Over the next couple of days, Grolok and Makalam make dozens of spears intended to kill the bear. Then they, Pelabong, Analam, and Flo go to confront the bear.
There's the cave that bear is living in. So are you ready?
Yes! I know in my past I never enjoyed hunting, but I will be more than happy to kill this bear who almost killed my sister. Let's get him. But as the cave dwellers approach the bear's cave, all right, you monster. Your ass is ours.
All of you, strike together so the bear will die quickly.
And together the 4 grown family members stab the bear with their many spears.
This is for my daughter, you coward.
And even Flo throws a couple of rocks at the bear as it dies at the hands of her parents, brother, and brother's mate.
Good riddance.
But as the family examines the bear's corpse, they then discover at the back of the cave.
Oh my. That bear wasn't just threatening us. It was a mother trying to protect its cub. Oh, it's so cute.
Maybe it is, but when it grows up, it may pose a threat to us, just as its mother did. So it must die too.
Oh no. I can't look.
That's just the ugly reality of life, Analam. Sometimes we must do things we hate to prevent even worse things from happening later.
That night, the 5 cave dwellers cook and eat bear meat together. And the next morning,
this cave is now yours and Analam's. I, your mother and sister will return to our own cave to the south. If you ever need help from us, you may come and ask.
Likewise, if you ever need help from us, you may let us know. Until next time, goodbye, Papa Grolok. And 7 months later.
Our firstborn son. What shall we call him, Mac?
Let us name him James, after the one who was once known as my father in the future. Makalam and Analam would go on to have 7 children, 6 of whom would live to adulthood. And, ironically, these children included an ancestor of Anna herself.
I can't believe your brother just abandoned his life here to return to the Stone Age. It's what Anna wanted, And Mac loved her, so he went with her for her sake. I will always remember him, but I have my own life to live in this time.